So as part of Cicero's ongoing political risk analysis, we've been tracking the Brexit debate and the intense debate that's going on in Cabinet right now. In this morning's Financial Times, we've got a major story about just how the Cabinet shapes up in terms of the Brexit conversation. And I'm delighted to have Chris Hughes with me. Chris is from our political risk team here at Cicero. Chris, we've essentially identified three groups now, haven't we, within the Cabinet. They're all agreeing about transition, but talk to me about the three groups that your analysis has identified.
So you're correct. So while a few weeks ago all the talk was are we going to have a transition or not, that's no longer the case. We see the Cabinet are now split along kind of three groups, as you said. The first one arguing for an off-the-shelf sort of model, arguing an EAA sort of arrangement, and then the second group sticking with the kind of Conservative manifesto line, the speech that Theresa May gave at Lancaster House, kind of transitional customs arrangement sort of agreement. Then there is the third group, the unplugged, you could call them, the likes of Liam Fox, who have just come round to the idea of having a transition, but still very reluctant to accept any sort of single market or customs union arrangement.
Right, so three distinct groups.
Yeah.
I'd be right in saying that first group, an off-the-shelf group, is being led by the Chancellor,
That's
yes?
correct, yes,
yeah.
certainly, yeah.
Who do we think is in the driving seat in terms of votes around the Cabinet table, Chris?
So at the moment, it looks like, led, as you said, by Philip Hammond, those calling for the off-the-shelf arrangement are very much in front and have the most support in the Cabinet.
Do you think it's a majority?
I think it is when we put together, even when we put together those like Theresa May and Damien Green, who are arguing still the same sort of line they did in the manifesto and at Lancaster House, with those the unplugged, as we call them. Still even then, those who are supporting the EEA arrangement look like they have the most support around the table.
Now let's project forward. What do you think, what does your analysis suggest will happen to those three groups? Will they remain three distinct groups?
I don't see that happening. Since the election result, as we've seen, Philip Hammond's new sort of found freedom, been able to get himself out there a lot more. He's managed to get a lot of more support for this sort of arrangement that he's calling for. And as I said, with the amount of support he has, even if those two other groups, come together. Still, we are seeing a shift in momentum and tone, that is towards this sort of, as I said, off-the-shelf arrangement.
Right. Chris, thank you very, very much indeed. You can read more about Cicero's analysis in today's Financial Times and online. We'll also be putting that analysis live on the Cicero website today as well. And this is, as I say, a part of an ongoing set of political risk research, which both UK domestic and global companies are turning to. I hope you've enjoyed this video cast and I look forward to talking in the weeks ahead as the Brexit journey continues.